tell us a bit about your story.
Well, my name's Noel. I'm the 8th of 9 children, and I'm sure the reason I was called Noel is because I was born a week before Christmas and Mum had run out of names. Very soon after my 8th birthday, my mum went to be with the Lord. She had cancer, and a year later our home was destroyed with fire, and my dad had spent the next 2 years after that in hospital, and my young brother and myself were spent the next 4 years in an orphanage run by the Baptist Church. My life, I believe, was basically affected by my mum and by her love of Jesus. Whilst my dad never went to church to my knowledge, my mum did, and she came from a Christian background. After coming out of the orphanage, I spent 12 months carpentering and then did an apprenticeship as a baker. Got married, had 2 little girls, and then I did a diploma in education and became a teacher at TAFE. 2 years later, my wife decided that she didn't want the responsibility of caring for the 2 little girls and myself, and left me with a 6 and a 9-year-old. You know Anne and Beth. Anne, most of you will know. And that was a very, very difficult time, but I do know that God prepared me for that with the way Mum responded and treated me as a child. In 1987, I had an accident at work where I tore muscles from my spine and my neck, and 3 years later I lost feeling in my left arm and left leg and requiring surgery. I've had C4 to C7 vertebrae fused together, and I was rendered unable to pass a medical to work for the public service, so my job as teaching was terminated. I've always loved doing things and wanting to do things, and I was left in a position then what to do. I got a little bit of money from superannuation, and with that money I used to invest in a business. It was a business in the gem industry, and unfortunately the partner I did business with went into liquidation. He owned LJ Hookers and Prouds, and he went to liquidation and left me with stock and quite a lot of gear. But I felt that the Lord had put me there, and I felt He wanted me to continue to do something that was productive. I set up a factory in Bangkok with a joint venture over there. It's not like Australia where anybody can come here and set up a business. Over there you can't. You got to do it with a local. And I did this through the Australian Overseas Board of Investment, where certain people were recommended. He was one of them. Unfortunately, after doing business with him for 18 months, I was able to pick up a stone that he had cut for me, and he had fled the country with 2,000 carat of cut Australian sapphires that belonged to me. I pursued that through the Thai legal system, and I advised by a general in the ambassador's office that there's no action could be taken because he happened to be married to the king's cousin, and legal action cannot be taken against the members of the extended royal family. At that time it was about twice the value of the home we owned, and so it was left me with a big debt, and we lost our home and we had to refinance it through Queensland Housing, and we're still paying for it now. But God's been good. God's helped me to deal with that without being angry towards this man or angry towards the situation. I can still remember my mother telling me years and years ago, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, but do it first. And that's something that I enjoy doing, and that is to help others. In recent times, age has snuck up on me, and my health has deteriorated a little bit, and I am frustrated by the fact that I can't do the things that I would love to do. But I do know that God's there supporting me, and I know that He wants me to do as much as I can. My understanding of Christianity was born from my relationship with Mum as a child, and that did suffer during my first marriage. But after that happened, I went looking for God then, desperately, and I found Him. I met Maria 18 months later, and we married, and we've been married for 28 years. Beg your pardon, we've been married for 38 years now. And I know this church has had an influence on where I'm at. I've had support from so many people here, support in financial, support in encouragement, and I know that God wants me to be where I'm at, and He also wants me to continue to do things and pursue things that is going to stretch me and make me more like Him. I trust that my words can be of encouragement to somebody in our church here today, and that together we can continue to reach out to encourage others, because we all need encouraging each and every day.